Welcome back, guys. We are going to be finally going to be reviewing this movie, Godzilla Minus One. I, First off, I'm very happy that I finally was able to see this film. I heard a lot of good feedback from a lot of different reviewers, from a lot of different ones I follow, from a lot of stuff online, saying that this was just an absolutely magnificent movie, not only from visuals, but from the story, the actual human characters, and they were not wrong. And I really want to get into this with you guys, so sit back, enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy the review. And if you have not seen Godzilla Minus One yet, definitely check this out. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to some of the ones I follow. First off, Geekdom 101. He definitely really went in depth a lot about this movie, and really made me want to see this movie even more. So shout out to you. This First off, I'm just going to say this. The way this movie is, this does something I think Hollywood have definitely lost their way on, and I'm going to explain reasons here in a minute. So the entire basis of this story is centered around one character, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce the names. I may, but at the same time, I may just really mess up. So we have the main lead, who, and this is post after World War II. In Japan. He is a kamikaze pilot. During that time, if you were a kamikaze pilot, they did not have ejection seats, and you died for the sake of the emperor, your country. And he went to a nearby island to see, saying that there was issues with his plane. And once that happens and he goes back to home, he is deemed a coward, because if you do that, you have dishonor. Now, what happens, and I'm going to get into spoilers here, guys, on the island is when you first see Godzilla. And it destroys this entire platoon of soldiers, and he has a chance to possibly stop him, but he can't because he's so scared, and he still survives. And when he goes back to Japan, he comes home and he has the pictures of the one that did survive, gives him, of these men's families that is now haunting him. And when he goes home, he sees nothing in his neighborhood but ashes, and his house is destroyed. His parents are gone, and his neighbor, she lost her children, blames him, condemns him to be a coward. And then he meets this woman that is trying to feed and protect a child, and what happens is he helps her, and then they slowly become this unwillingly family, and she starts staying with him, and so does the young girl as a baby. And then they start getting help from the woman that condemned him a coward. And what happens is he even gets a job with these men in a wooden boat for a government job that's going to pay him well, to take down mines in the ocean to go ahead and get rid of them because of how much that were deployed during World War II. Now, how Godzilla reawakens is because of the atomic bomb. Now, before I get more into Godzilla, these characters were absolutely, first off, written incredibly. And the way they went about this story was not only around the time of Japan being such in chaos, but also now you got a monster to deal with that is just destroying, when he finally starts destroying this country. And they don't know what to do. They don't have the weapons. They don't have the manpower. The military is not going to help them because they don't want the help. And from the main character, Kochi, and his love interest, Noriko, and pretty much like their adoptive daughter, Eiko, they are trying to build back up. He's able to rebuild his house. He's able to make some money. She even wants to work, but at the same time, he's going through so much. He has survivor's guilt. he has PTSD. He's having nightmares. He thinks he's dead. Like there's a scene where he's wondering if he's dead and this is a dream, and she's having to hold on to him and say that you are alive. Like, I want you to live. And she even says that to him even when he's about ready to start this job. And that really resonates because this entire movie is really based on to live. And when Godzilla finally comes around, is because of the atomic bomb, and he goes to Japan. Godzilla is just a freaking monster. I mean, just his eyes alone is like, holy God. Like, it just remnants fear. And it's just destroying buildings, eating people, destroying ships. But the design, the CGI was so amazing. Even though this is only a $15 million movie, this shows with a foreign film of how beautiful it is, and also what Hollywood is missing. And this is what I think can actually wake people up. And this is why it's such a good movie. And I was watching this, and there's like one scene in the movie where Noriko is going to work, and she does not know this is going on. She knows about Godzilla because he told her what was going on. And her train gets attacked while Godzilla is attacking the area. And as soon as he finds out that he's attacking, he goes and gets her, and luckily she still survives from falling from a train. And then running through the streets, and she just sees this massive monster coming towards her, and she knows she's going to die. Like, imagine, guys, first off, none of us, I would assume, who listens, even myself, have not seen war. The majority of us is not going to see war. Those of us that have seen a lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of things in my time that this movie really spoke to me due to having to literally get up, grab the sand, so to speak, pick yourself up from the floor, the ground, and get back up and use whatever you have to survive. And that is exactly what this was based on. Because he grabs her, and the line that made so much, and I have not seen a line like this in so long, and it was the whole, he grabs her and she's surprised he's there. He says, "You want to live, come on." And it resonated with me because I have not heard a line like that, the exact same tone, the exact same words, since Terminator, with Kyle Reese opening up the door to save Sarah Connor, telling her to get in. He says, "You want to live, come on." That resonates so much because it's your will to live. And he goes through the emotion of trying to protect her, and she evidently dies pushing him out the way so he can live when Godzilla uses a massive ray blast to destroy the area, and he's thinking she's dead. And the one that the girl that they pretty much have adopted considers them mom and dad, and he doesn't consider himself to be a father. He now blames her he now blames her death on him. And the entire time, I'm not wanting these characters to die. 9 times out of 10 in a Godzilla movie or in an actual monster movie, you're not wanting these characters to die. And they do. But by the end of this film, he gets his redemption by getting the help of the mechanic that was on that island, coming up with a plan to sink Godzilla in the ocean. It almost works, but it doesn't because of how powerful Godzilla is. And flying himself into the mouth of Godzilla and blowing up, and I thought he was dead, and then seeing him in the parachute, and he sent money to the one that became almost like a mother figure to him, and of course to his love interest, because he knew, he thought he was going to die. And the child that he pretty much adopted was the only thing he had left, because they created this family of himself, Noriko, and Aiko, and also with the doctor, the captain, the kid that was on the boat as well. They created this family because there was 2 things that really got me. Was because by the end of this film, they go back to the mainland, and the one has Aiko with him, and she gives him a letter, and he finds out Noriko's not dead. She's in the hospital. She has a broken arm, possibly a messed up right eye. And I ain't gonna lie, guys, there's a lot of heartfelt moments in here. It was very heartfelt. It was a lot of emotion in this film. And it was beautiful. It was beautifully written. It was beautifully shot. Everything. And Godzilla, of course, is not dead because he's able to regenerate. But by the end of the film, he regenerates his head by the end of the film. That's how the film ends. But there were certain quotes in here that really resonated with me, was because of how he was willing to sacrifice himself, and at the same time the captain that took him in for that job even tells him, if you leave her an orphan, then I'm never going to forgive you even if you do die. Because he knew that child was the only thing, he was the only thing that child had left. And I'm sitting there, and I have not felt this much emotion in a movie in a long time. And I love Godzilla. I do. I may have not seen every movie of Godzilla. I've seen 14, King of Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, the 90s Godzilla, a few others. I can't fully remember, but I love Godzilla. This Godzilla was a different Godzilla. It was more menacing. It was a monster. But at the same time, you cared about, you wanted to see Godzilla, but at the same time, you were happy with the characters that were in this story. It made sense. It was beautifully written. And it just, I cannot express how much I like this movie. I want to watch this movie again. That says something a lot. That says a lot, because 9 times out of 10 when I'm done with the movie, I just want to go, hey, I'm done. Let me go back to it. And that's the end of it, right? With this movie, I don't want to do that. I want to go back and watch it again. Did I miss something? The acting, phenomenal. The story, phenomenal. The CGI was still phenomenal. Even though there was issues, it was still phenomenal. By the director, Takashi Yamazaki. Sir, you did a hell of a job with this film. We need more films like this. Guys, it was political to a point. Of course, during the time frame. And it was about, of course, people coming together in a hard time and doing what was right. The willingness to live. The willingness to struggle. To fight. And if you've been through something in your life that has really taken its toll on you, if you know about PTSD, if you know about war, if you know about loss, if you know about struggle, if you know about surviving and the thrive, this movie's going to speak to you. I have nothing but love and respect for this film. I am hoping there's going to be more films like that I see in the future. Would I say this is movie of the year for me? I don't know yet. We still got a few weeks left before the end of the year, but guys, this movie was something, and I cannot say that enough. So if you have not seen Godzilla Minus One, I highly recommend you do. It's a hell of a film, and you're going to enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.